Hey, Dead Gamer here. This is a video response to Vince Venturella's topic of the week. It is December. It's already December. December 9th. This is Saturday, so this was on the 8th that Vince did this. It's regarding hobby space. I've got my notes right up here. So sorry I'm a little tired. Worked a lot this weekend so far, and I'm going back to work, which is why I'm wearing a hat and my work shirt, because I'm not done. I need to go back in a couple hours, so I'm taking a quick break, and I'm going to do this video, and then I'm going to take a quick nap, and then go back to work. But I wanted to make a video response before it got too late, because next day, Sunday, is going to be even crazier. And yeah, so I've got my coffee here in my Tinkerbell mug. Pretty nice. I've got my can of Coke right here. And I got my soda water down on here, so I'm ready to go. I'm staying hydrated. And, yeah, but anyway, that's not about this. That's about something else. This video is about Vince Venturella's topic of the week, and like I said, I've got a little post-it note right here. Sorry for the shakes, but here's the post-it note, and this is the stuff he's covered, so I'm going to go over it real quick. It's about hobby space, and your hobby space, and you have one, and a bunch of things, and I've got a little list, so I'll go down the list. I do have a hobby space. Well, it's kind of a hobby space at the moment. Right now, I'm in my bedroom with a bunch of stuff behind me, because in the beginning of this past year, well, yeah, the March of 2017, had a fire in my garage. I have a detached garage, and it pretty much obliterated a lot of stuff. So, I'm in the process of getting that redone, dealing with insurance and all that. But in the meantime, I'm living in my house, but I had to move everything that survived, and you can kind of see up here, the little black soot coming down. These are some of the boxes that weren't damaged enough to where I had to throw them away, but these are all full of little Warhammer toys and all kinds of stuff. So I'm getting ahead of myself. But yes, I do have a hobby space, or I had one. And I loved it, and it was awesome. And right now I've got a little desk right here. It doesn't do any justice to what I've had going on, but I mean it suffices for where I am at this point in my life with everything until I rebuild. But once the garage is rebuilt, essentially I had a giant garage that was pretty much dedicated to all things gaming. And a lot of my friends laugh at me because they're car people, or they're, mainly car people, and I don't do any of that. I'm not a car person. I don't know anything about cars. I have a car. It drives me places, but I just don't have that attraction to vehicles. So I do love the hobby, though. I love making models, painting models, converting models, and playing with models, and more importantly, all the other things. I like playing the game too, but that's secondary to me. So when the garage is done again, I will have a hobby space back. I guess I'll talk about my hobby space as I had it, not as I'm redesigning it, because I've actually got not rules, but we're working on battle plans for the next draft of my new hobby space, and my dad's got this cool 3D rendering program. This is a second story. It's a big garage, but yeah, it's gonna be rad. So anyway, yeah, this thing, that's all hobby stuff, space. So my buddies come over and they're like, dude, I could get so many cars in here, and I'd be working on cars, and I'd get a lift and this and that. And it's like, no, it's not about that for me. It's about how many 4x8 sheets of plywood can I get in this thing? Yeah, because I want to have my own games days. But that's hilarious. So I do somewhat have a hobby space, and or a garage, and then in that garage I had a dedicated shelf. It was probably about 6 feet wide. Had a bunch of shelves in front of it, and then below it I had paint drawers, or drawers. It had paint in them, and it was bar height, so bar stool was there, and it had a back to the bar stool, and it was just nice. I'd go in there, I'd sit down, and I'd just pretty much do everything from modeling, shaving models to painting and building terrain at that one little desk. And it was pretty awesome. And it was definitely inspiring. Yeah, kind of slowing down right now. Sorry. So I do have a hobby space. Let's continue down the list. Do I like it? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I did like it. How is it set up? We talked about that. It was about 6 feet with shelves. It had all kinds of different things. This third shelf up had a bunch of different rocks and pebbles and sand and different consistencies and static grass and all that cool stuff. All in Kraft cheese, the little Parmesan cheese shakers. My mom goes through that stuff like crazy, and I buy real Parmesan cheese, but that's cool. Go for it, Mom. And she always gives me the containers, and they have like the top has two different options. You have like a pour it out of half the container, or these little sifting holes, so you can kind of control, what you're dropping out of it. But literally, I have probably, I'd say at least 40 of them filled with different things. I'll buy woodland scenic foliage stuff and put them in the craft containers, as it just works. And you can see what it is right out of the gate, and they haven't changed their format in forever, which is beautiful. So, yeah, it's real handy. And then they're a fairly good amount, I'm talking about this too much, about just ground cover. So yes, that's how it's set up. How do you store everything? So I actually have a couple different stages of storing stuff. When I first get it in boxes and I don't open it, I basically catalog it and I put it in one of these Dell computer boxes. The company I work for, they have a huge need for computers. Not that I don't work for a computer company or anything, but the office people. And probably 4 or 5 years ago, they did a big Dell purchase, I guess, and they changed out a bunch of computers in the one of the buildings. And over in the cardboard recycle dumpster was, and I kid you not, these boxes, there were probably 400 of them. It was out of control, and the dumpster was full and they were on the side, so I was like, oh, those are nice, and they're really thick cardboard. So I, after work, a couple of days, took a bunch home in my car, and of course I got permission. Thanks for asking. And yeah, I just stuck those down in the basement, and then anytime I need a box, because I'm a big fan of, what's the word I'm looking for, where everything's the same. The same. Like, I don't like a bunch of different random size boxes and you're trying to stack this, but then that won't, your things are tipping over because the box is too small. And then, yeah, I like things to be very, very much the same. I don't know. There's a word for it. I'm just way too tired right now to think about it. I'm going to recline a little bit. So I like to, uniform. Bam! Uniform. So I like to have my stuff uniform. So I got the boxes, and they're all uniform. And that's stage one. That's the stuff that I buy that stays in the box. Stage two is stuff that I'm either working on or stuff that I've bought off eBay or secondhand sites. And that stuff goes in a different size box. A smaller, more manageable sized box. That's probably about a third the size of the big Dell computer boxes above my head. And those are labeled with the Army. And at first they all go into one box, and then over time, as the Army expands, as I'm purchasing more, building more, I have to make more boxes, and then I start breaking it up by like, okay, the Space Marines the tanks are taking up too much room, so I'll start a Space Marine vehicle box. And then it'll go from Space Marines and then subtitle vehicles. Then it gets too specific, and then I've got flyers and bikes are in vehicles, flyers, and bikes, and then another box will say vehicles, tanks, and I'm super anal retentive, and that's how I store that stuff. So most of my Space Marine stuff's gone now, though. So it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, that's funny. So no, it's not, but it is. Yeah. Oh, and I realized too, the last video I made, I say a lot. I'm gonna stop trying to say because that was really annoying to me. I was listening to it and I was like, wow, you're saying So no more ums. I'm gonna try not to anymore. Now it's gonna be long sighs because I can't say how is it set up? How do you store everything? Sorry. So it's gonna take a while to break. I probably won't break it during this video, and I'm not gonna slow down. So I also, once I do the Dell boxes in the new condition, then I go to the smaller boxes in the built condition or bought stuff built or somewhat assembled. Then after that, I have in the room, my game room, I had shelving, and that had all the built stuff on it that I was currently using, like playing with or whatever. If it gets painted, it goes back in the box if I'm not using it at the time, so I don't display everything because that would require a lot of room because I've got a lot of crap. I've been collecting the stuff since Space Hulk and the early 90s, late 80s. Thanks, Dad. So, yeah, I don't put everything on display. But pretty much the stuff I'm working on, the stuff I'm focused on for that month or that year or whatever I'm just jonesing on is always on the shelving in the game room, or was on the shelving in the game room. So that's how I display it all. Does having your stuff out inspire me? Absolutely. It gets a little... Vince, you did a video a while ago where you talked about having too much stuff. I think it was when Tom was he bragging about how much crap he has, or was he confessing like a whatever that's called? I can't think right now. I was too tired. But yeah, it was the thing about the pressures of having so much stuff, that weight of, you used big words. So yeah, it was a weight, just the weight of the product, because you didn't know where to start, what to work on, and you couldn't be focused on doing any one particular thing. And I definitely think that that's one of my problems. Absolutely. I'm doing Shadespire stuff right now, and I keep looking at my Gene Store cult stuff, and I put that down to work on Shadespire, and then before that it was the new Death Guard stuff, and I was working on that, and then before that, I mean, it just goes and goes and goes. So that's really hard, but that's a focus thing, and that's not what this video is about. This video is about our hobby space. So having stuff out does inspire me, though, especially when I've got stuff put together and I've been playing with it a lot. I guess I don't even play with it a lot. I just have it out because I like to display it. And, I go in there and I look at it and I go, yeah, I want to finish this. And I want to, I had... For a while, I was doing a pretty amazing... I was doing 6 war bands for Gorka Morka because I was going to run this past year, actually. I was going to run a campaign at one of the local Labor Day conventions in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. And I had these war bands built, and you had your choice of a truck or a track and a bike. And, I mean, there was all these different... stuff. I lost all that too, but it was really inspiring to just have it all out. And because every day I'd come home, I'd be like, yeah, I want to work on this. And that was a project I was full bore with for months and months and months. And I had just sprues everywhere and crap everywhere because orcs love their gubbins. So I had bits boxes everywhere, just flung open with stuff. It was a mess, absolute mess, but it was fun. And it's super inspiring. So having that stuff out is inspiring. I think that other thing, though, about having too much crap and then seeing too much crap, too much of too much of different things also kind of, unless you're done with it all. I mean, having it all out and it being finished would be one thing, but having it all out and it not being finished is entirely a different thing. So, because then you get scatterbrained and then you can't really focus, and at least I can't, down on one particular thing. So, yeah, so that's, I think I got all the stuff talked about in the video. It's my hobby space. I'd like to show you guys one day what it is. I actually made a video about the fire. The sound got messed up. I think my camera got damaged from the smoke and the water and the steam and all that. So the sound just cuts out halfway through. So maybe because I wanted to put it up here because it's, I was originally going to put it up as a joke because that one guy who burned his Dark Elf army because he was so upset. You know, he burned like, I don't know, maybe $300 or $400 worth of stuff, and I was like, no, I am the ultimate Warhammer rage burn, but it wasn't intentional because it was a lot more money than that. And yeah, I lost 7 copies of Hero Quest. Yeah, I'm that guy. I know, it's horrible, but whatever. It is what it is. Live and you learn. So thank goodness for insurance. But yeah, so when I get it done, I'll do a little thing. You know, I'm sure I'll do a super happy, check out my new nerd cave, because that's what I call it, my nerd cave. Because my buddies give me shit all the time. They're just like, dude, you are not using this for what it's intended for. And I'm like, I absolutely know I'm not using it for what I intended, or what people intended it for, but I don't care. It's my house. I'm going to do what I want. It's my garage, my property. So you don't like it, you can leave. But that's it. So thanks, Vince, for continuing to do this. And it's getting me out of my shell a little bit more about talking about Warhammer and just making these little videos. They're goofy, but they're fun. And it's nice to start getting some people commenting on stuff because, you know, when I first made them, I was just kind of, you know, like, whatever. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to respond to you, Vince. But, you know, when you see people start responding, it's actually really interesting because it's, you know, people are actually watching this, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat thing, you know, that people out there are, you know, I know it doesn't take much time to go send, but it's pretty neat. So I'm not saying people just blow my stuff up now for whatever reason, but, you know, just I'm just reflecting on it, and it's kind of neat to see people, you know, interact with me who've never even met me, don't even know me. You know, I could be a I'm not gonna say it because it'd probably get banned because I'm pessimist, but yeah, I could be a mass murderer of Oompa Loompas. How's that? Let's make it a fantasy so it's not, you know. But yeah, I mean, joking aside, I do like that people are actually looking at my stuff and commenting. That's pretty neat. So thanks, Vince, for making another good topic. I missed a couple, some by choice, I guess. You know, this was a hard year for me, so I didn't really, I mean, yeah, I'm thankful for a lot of stuff, but making a thankful video, it's a little weird for me, especially, you know. Oh, and that's the other thing, I can't drink alcohol right now because I'm in between work, so Coke and coffee is all I got. So I don't have liquid courage at the moment, or I'd probably be saying a lot more stuff, but yeah, that's alcohol's great, and it's also your worst enemy, you know. So anyhow, thank you guys for listening to my really weird rant about stuff, and you know, I'll keep making these as long as you keep making yours, and you know, once I get everything up and running, hopefully we'll start seeing some more content out. I've got some awesome these guys, the little Shadespire dudes. I'm building these for my neighbor's kid because he came over and played whatchamacallit, gore chosen with me, and he had a blast. So he's not really a kid. He's 20-something years old, 27, 28, something like that. But I'm old, so I'm doing the skeleton guys, Folk Girl Guard, and I'm gonna let him. He's a big corn guy, so I'm gonna let him play those. I haven't played the game either. My White Dwarf just came too. Oh, and speaking of White Dwarf, this is crazy. Let me hold on a second. So last month we talked about what we wanted to see. Oh, there was the Warhammer community thing, the page, and you were asking people what they put. And I was talking about Space Hulk, and that, you know, I really wanted to see them to do Deathwing and Genestealer, but mainly if I had to choose one, I wanted them to choose Genestealer because of the tiles, and I went into this big old rant. White Dwarf just came to my door. And what's in it? This is this month's issue. Okay? Got it? Boom. Space Hulk with what? Genestealer hybrids! So we're getting there. You know, and then it's got yes, more, and a little scenario. So happy. I saw that and I was like, look at that, they're already doing it. I didn't even you know, not even, whatever, it doesn't matter. Awesome. Very, very awesome. And Necromunda's back, full swing. Very excited. That said, I went on a tangent, but that's okay. Appreciate you guys watching, and like I said, I'll try to make more of these as often as I can. I'm gonna go. I think the coffee's kicking in right now because I'm feeling all woo. But yeah, I'm gonna keep on making these things. And Vince, it's nice to have a reason to make them. I think that's what it is. A lot of is that you're giving people the ability to come out of their shells somewhat and actually talk about their hobby and do a YouTube video, because I think that's how I started. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's how I started, was responding to your videos, and it just it sort of broke the ice for this whole like getting comfortable making a video and basically sitting in a room and talking to yourself, because it's weird to have a conversation with just yourself where you have to hold the attention of everybody. So yeah, these videos are getting more and more comfortable to make, and which is in turn making me more and more comfortable doing videos, which in turn will make me more comfortable making videos, not as responses, but just as videos. And then that's how that begins, I guess. So that said, Tom, get your shit together, start making some videos, damn it. And thank you everybody for watching. See you next time. Wait, how does he say it? I don't know. I was going to do the Vince Venturella signing off thing, but can't remember right now. I'm too tired. Way too tired. So, oh, you want to see my hair? Check this out. That's hard hat hair. It's when you've been working in a hard hat all night and you're sweating and then you're cold and then yeah, it's all pretty rad, huh? Like a rooster. Anyway, that's why I was wearing a hat, because of that reason. God, I got a huge forehead. Anyhow, okay, sorry. Thanks for watching. Bye.